Well, I'm here with a couple of soccer players. We have sophomore forward Austin Oldham and junior goalkeeper John Dawson. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Good, Shu. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being on. So let's just get started. How's spring season been going for you guys? Spring practice.
It's been going really well. It's nice to just get back with the team after fall break and really get back into everything. And the spring gives us a nice opportunity to do some individual things that we don't really have the time for in the fall with so many games on our schedule.
Sure. Now you guys had a couple of transfers come in at the beginning of the semester, Nico Olivero and Max Odgaard. How have they been fitting into the system, and how do you see them helping you guys out in the fall? John, you want to take this one?
I think actually both those guys are going to fit in really well. They're both relatively local guys, so they went to surrounding high schools, and they played on the same club team as Austin and I and fellow local guy Jared Eisenthal. So they're pretty familiar with the style of play that Butler expects. And realistically, their off-the-field personality and their characteristics really mesh well with our team chemistry and things like that. So I think they're going to be a really great fit. And plus, they're both very good soccer players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. Now you guys start the spring schedule tomorrow. You're at Oakland. You've had a couple of weeks here now just practicing, getting in the weight room, just repetitions. Now you finally get back on the field in a game situation. Talk about a couple of things that you guys are excited about with the start of the spring season tomorrow.
Yeah, for me personally, since we practice with just our team since January, it'll be really nice to go out and just play other people and kind of see where we are, because we've only been able to base ourselves and where we're at off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just to go out there and start scoring goals again would be really great.
I would say that's the general consensus from like the rest of the team. You know what I mean? It's what the saying in the locker room is we kick the same people every day. So now we're really excited to finally go out and really play and turn it on and pull our jerseys on and play against real competition in a different place. You know what I mean? Instead of the bowl, we actually get to play at other places and travel and everything that comes with a travel day. You know what I mean? We look forward to those type of things because it's really good team bonding.
Sure. Now, obviously, spring season's a little bit different because it's exhibition, but it's still competition. You're still facing tough teams every week. What's the mindset, I guess, going into a spring game, and how is it different from actual competition in the fall?
I don't really think there is much difference. We don't like to lose, bottom line. And last year was a tough season for us, last fall, I should say. But we don't plan on making that a common theme, and we especially don't plan on making that common theme this spring. So realistically, every time we go out there, whether it be training or whether it be a game, spring game, fall game, every time we step in the lines, it's, you know what I mean, we're out here to be the better team, and we're out here to get the result that we desire.
Yeah, I was just say, I think the mindset of the individuals on the team is really the same every single game, every single practice, just trying to better ourselves and go out there and win. I think, if anything, maybe the mindset of the coaches is a little different to try and figure out who meshes well together and kind of the formation and things like that.
Sure. Now, John, you touched on this just a second ago. You guys had a tough season last year, like you said. A lot of changes. You played some really tough teams like IU, Michigan, etc. What did you guys take away from such an up and down year that you can use this spring and then, more importantly, next fall?
Right. I think everybody actually. If you look back on our roster and our starting 11, we were pretty young. You know what I mean? We had a lot of guys that not necessarily were young age-wise, but young experience-wise. Mm-hmm. And now, with the projected starting 11 next year, a lot of those guys now have experience under their belts. They have a year and a half. And with the spring, spring games give them even more comfortableness. They become more comfortable on the field with the ball, things like that. So that's what we take away from the fall, really. You know what I mean? We take every game, we move forward with it, but we use the experience that we've gained from the fall now to better the rest of our players so that we're able to really get after it come August. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just to kind of mirror what he said, I think last fall we had 7 new starters from the previous season. So the hardest thing to do is be consistent as a team. And at some points we played great soccer, and other points it was kind of tough to find that consistency. So this spring will just give us a really good chance to move towards something in the fall where we can consistently come out every single game and play our best.
Sure. Now, how difficult was it, or has it been in the past year, to deal with all the changes that's been going on, whether it be transfer players, an entirely new coaching staff, some transfer guys coming in, etc.?
Yeah, for me individually, I know it's been tough just seeing the coaches leave because they were my coaches in club before I even came here and for Dawson as well. So that was definitely a tough move, but in the end, I'm happy that I stayed. I really like these new coaches a lot and what they bring to the team as a whole and to me as an individual player. And the players transferring in and out has obviously been tough, but the main core that stayed here, it's brought us a lot closer together. So I think that's only going to benefit us in the long run.
Yeah.
Right, and just to touch on what Austin said, the main core really, it's the same core group of guys that are out on the field. It's the same core group of guys that are in the locker room first. You know what I mean? And it's I would say the team reacts to how they react. So when we're able to handle the leaving and the comings of different players and coaches, realistically, it'll only bring us closer, like Austin said, and it'll actually make us stronger, you know what I mean? And now we know who's here with us and who's been in the trenches with us and who's ready to, put Butler first.
Right. And Austin, you just said this a second ago, you decided to stay. Why? You had your chances to leave, with your old coaching staff moving on, but you both decided to stay and stay with the program, stay with the school. Why did you guys decide to do that?
Yeah, there were a few main reasons for me. On the not soccer side of things, I really love Butler as a school and my major here and just the other students and the whole atmosphere, and I feel like it suits me really well and enables me to work that much harder in soccer also. And then just from coaching's perspective, it was really cool because we got the chance to interview the coaches coming in ourselves. So we really got a good idea of who they are as people and who they are as coaches and what they can bring to us. And I just really felt that they could take us as a team and me individually to that next level.
Right, and similarly for me, as I've touched on before, I'm from Indianapolis, so one of the non-soccer reasons is I really didn't want to leave, what I have going here, my family, stuff like that. I'm really close with my family, and as well as what Austin said, the athletics, the academics are something that I really value, and I really enjoy my major and things like that, and I enjoy the campus activities and along those lines. And then on the field, one of the real key contributions on why I chose Butler was one of the coaches, the goalkeeper coach, Mike Sonich. He's a real deciding factor, and the guy really knows his stuff for goalkeeper and non-goalkeeper stuff. So that was a key factor. And plus, Snape and Brew and now JP are really great guys.
Yeah. Now, John, you're going into your senior year, obviously. It's your last year of college, soccer. What are one or two goals or expectations that you have for your senior season?
Last fall was the first losing season I've had in a long time, and that left a super bitter taste in my mouth. So coming up this fall, I want to do everything that puts my team first in the best possible place where we can win the conference, where we can get into the NCAA tournament, and we can maybe make a run deep. And then personally, I've always, my goal has always been play at the next level. So I want to put myself in the position to where, whether it be invited to the combine, whether it be invited to, some of the other combines, I want to put myself in the position to where playing at the next level is a legitimate step for me to take.
Sure. Yeah. Austin, how about you? What expectations do you have for your upcoming season?
For me, before coming into school, I felt like I was playing really well when I came here and kind of had a rough freshman year. And this last fall, I didn't necessarily play up to my standards exactly. So I'm really just putting in a lot more work than I ever have this spring and this summer also, so that hopefully I can come back and have a really good year moving forward and put myself in the same position that Dawson wants to be in for after my senior year to be able to hopefully move on to the next level.
Right. Well, guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate you coming. That's all we have for you guys today, but join us next week on the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Matt Schumacher.